the elevator. I come in after Thanksgiving holiday to see where we stand with stuff. And it looks like Unit C is ready for harvest. Big bushy bushes of basil. The fish are still floating around in their super big tank. Then I'm going to go over here and check the seedlings, because we've got basil and lettuce and more basil and lemon basil that didn't get planted. Oops. And then we come over to this side and we see even more basil, lettuce, basil, some lettuce that needs some water desperately, and some more lettuce. And over here are our little seedlings that have popped, planted by the APS volunteers. Take off this little dome, and those have popped real well, and that's basil. Here's another thing of basil. And what's this one? That one looks like it's basil as well. And up here we have the lettuces. I'm just going to peek because they're teeny tiny. And then we can see that the pallet rack construction is still a work in progress. We're going to have 2 tiers of 2 sets and more production space. And then here's our 5-foot farm wall and an exo tower that's about ready to harvest. Wall number 1, which is growing, and number 2, which is a different kind of lettuce, which is about at the same phase. And then wall number 3, which is ready for harvest. Most of them. And as we move along, we've got this wall of lettuce that has 2 towers turned backwards, so we have to plant that. Here's another exo tower doing just marvelously. And then here's a farm wall full of lettuce. And we got a couple up top that are too tall, too far up. They need to be rescued. Our 3rd exo tower, which is growing lettuce like gangbusters. And then our zip garden, which has 3 towers in it and is a self-contained unit all by itself. Lovely to have in your home if you've got space for it. All right, here's our working tables. I brought in a small fan today. This is our lemon basil, which we use for our sunshine tea. And then this is cinnamon basil, which goes in the Balance the Juggle tea. It's doing quite well. Carly's been trimming it, and it is quite bushy because of that. And then we have our 2 rolling carts of basil, which is all in various phases of growth. And as you can see, that one up there is over the top, and this one is quickly approaching that. So we've got basil in all phases of starts. Now I'm going to go over here and show you our little tiny babies, which aren't so little anymore. They were very tiny when we first got them. Say hi, fishies. And now we have the rest of the space, and this is our wall calendar for production and volunteer status, and we have to move this table down so we can get to it better. And we have this project for Palisades High School. These are the tops to their growing units. Sort of stinks in here from PVC glue, but it's dissipating quickly. And this is their project right here. So they have, it's called Trout in the Classroom, and they will be having growing units 1, 2, 3 where the lights are, and there's a tank, and this is going to be the tank for the trout, which requires a cooler because trouts like colder water. Palisades High School has gotten a project of Trout in the Classroom, and they will be arriving after the new year as little tiny eggs for them to hatch and grow to be released in the spring season. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. We have the potential classroom instruction with a video monitor. Over there is our little copy station. We want to thank the copier people who gifted us that big fancy copier. And over here is the room where we have our little meetings for keeping everything somewhat together. So I'm going to say goodbye and thank all of you who give what you give, and hopefully can help us meet our goal for our annual fundraising budget, because this space right here, which is the tool room, really wants to be growing space. All for now. Thanks so much.